Jesse.
What?
What are we doing?
No, I don't know. I turned them tell me that.
Welcome back to the channel. Keith and Jesse in the studio tonight. We are about to start into a build that we wanted to do for 2 years now, somewhere along that line. It consists of amalgamating the popular Vanquish VS4-10 and the TRAXXAS TRX-4 together. This is our first TRX-4 we built on the channel. Obviously, you guys scroll through the channels, check it out. We just did the rim update on it. Looks pretty decent. Crawls super well. This truck is sitting on droop with the portal axles, the locking differentials, the 2-speed, all really nice package. But we kind of wanted to build a truck that uses Vanquish's chassis from the VS4-10, the chassis from the VS4-10, the transmission from the VS4-10. As you can see, it's got the skid plate with the VFD transmission, which is super low, tucked down real nice and low. Hopefully it's all going to fit in there. We have no idea until we start building it, but we shall find out. Might be a bit of a challenge. We're going to run the dig on the back of it, of the VFD transmission, and we are still going to have the locking and unlocking differentials with the TRX-4. So, yeah, both these trucks are to go back on the bench. We're not using these trucks. We are starting the build with the base kit with a TRAXXAS TRX-4 builder's kit. Now, if you're looking to get into a TRAXXAS TRX-4 and you like to learn the vehicle, build the vehicle, and do the vehicle yourself, we recommend the TRX-4 chassis kit. This one comes with everything you need minus a body. Comes with, I don't know my point over here, there's no body there, but comes with everything, motor, ESC, 2-speed servo, shifting servos, wheels, tires, bodies, or bumpers, fenders, everything. Really nice setup, and I think they're like 500 bucks Canadian for these plus tax. Can't go wrong with that. Good starting point. Fortunately for that truck, we're only using the electronics and a couple axles. The rest of our parts come from Vanquish. We're going to be using the VS4-10 chassis kit. It's part number VPS10130. You're going to be using the Vanquish, or sorry, Incision, Vanquish, whatever you want to call it, the SCX10-II 12.3 1/4-inch stainless steel kit, link kit, sorry, and that is number IRC 00070. Here we have the VFD transmission. Hoping it's going to work with this layout. We'll have to do some fanciness, but we'll figure it out. Part number VPS10152. This is the VFD Hertz dig that goes with this VFD transmission. Part number VPS01360. And we have the Incision TRX-4 links for the VS4-10 chassis because we are not the first people to design to do this. They already have the specific links you need, and that is number IRC 00202 from Incision, which is like Vanquish or something. So basically, yeah, we can clear the bench. Start with chassis and VFD. Get those built simultaneously. The nice thing about having multiple kits like this, Jesse and I can tackle this build together and double down on it. So we get the bench cleared up. We're going to get the cameras into warp drive and get building. Cheers. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Keith and Jesse working on our TRX-4 Axial VS4-10. Pretty much a pro at this point. It's got more of the Ultra transmission because it's got the sintered metal gears and the plastic standoffs, and not quite as good as the Pro transmission. Same layout, the cheaped out. We got the 550 TRAXXAS CAN motor wedged into there, and right now we're just getting ready to hang the axles on it. We're going to start with the front axle. We are using the SCX10-III Vanquish stainless steel link kit for it because it works out for the 12-3 geometry that we're going for with the truck, with this setup, with the TRX4 axles. The upper 3-link, this one, we took the 80mm one out of the TRAXXAS TRX-4 kit and did a Z-bend on the end of it so we can actually get that to tuck around the motor in the front as she's going to travel that way a little bit as it comes up, right? It's not just straight up and down. Yeah, we had to make sure it's tucked so it fits. We've already test fit everything for your enjoyment, so we know it's going to fit. So you don't have to watch us fumble with it for an hour. And yeah, we're going to start plopping them in. We'll start with the front axle, already assembled. Jesse popped a spare Revo rod end bushing? I don't know. Bolt? Hand joint? I don't know what it's called. Squish in there. Perfect.
What's up?
There's something wrong. I'm going to jump onto the front panhard mount. Just so I have the room to kind of roll the axle around as I need. Have to figure you out. We're gonna run you nice and happy. Come back to that. A lot of guys are asking us online why we just didn't build this with the F9 Curry axles, which essentially I answered, well, then I would have just purchased the Ultra. We have the Pro. Not really in a rush to grab the Ultra right now. Ultra is a nice rig, but if I buy the Ultra so soon to buying the Pro, it's kind of going to put the Pro in a dark corner. And this has been a build we've had on the list now for a year or so. Or longer, I don't know. See part 1. Okay. I thought I was gonna have trouble finding somewhere to run that cable. Okay, well that's the front. The rear, well, it's even easier. Same thing, start with the top. Put the right links in. When you're putting these shocks on, one side of the ball end here has a flat plate. You want to have the flat plate go up against the side of the diff housing. Just in case you're wondering. Well, those definitely don't fit in there, so we're gonna have to modify these just a little bit to get these TRAXXAS shock ends to fit up inside there. I think we just snap it out and put a regular ball in. Yeah, we're gonna snap that out, just put a regular ball in. Where's the test one? Right there. Obviously that's what they're using, I'm pretty sure, on those shocks. Yep. Okay, so we gotta change the balls on the end of the shock so they fit in there. So far, the one part we had to really customize besides just bolting everything together was that front upper link. And the next part was gonna be these four of the shock top cap things here. Take those out really easy, pair of needle nose pliers. I like using the bent ones. Grab it by the edge of the plastic there, grab it by the clip on that side, and roll tight. Sorry, go the right way. If you look on them, one side's bigger than the other. Pew! This one's angry. He wants to pinch me. I know it does. So you want to get it, boy. Ah! See? Woo! I think that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna pause the camera. We're gonna take a break. We gotta grab some more balls, snap our balls into them holes, and get the hardware dug out of the bag. So far, we use the TRAXXAS hardware to put the axles onto the truck. Everything else that you see here has come with the VFD, the chassis, and the TRX-4 kit. Nothing's been added in yet. Well, except for these 4 ball rod ends, which you'll have to have on your own. It's a TRAXXAS Revo rod end, ball end. What do you want to call it? Beep. Okay, back again. Took a little break there like we discussed. We put the shocks, top bolts in, yada yada yada, nothing exciting there. One little tip on this is the inside of these shock towers on the VS4-10 chassis have another mount, so you can run a screw through here so you can get multiple body height locations instead of just having the one hole and the one pin. You can go both, kind of nice. We had to cut this material out a little bit because it's interfering with the adjuster for the ride height on the shock. So besides that, yeah, simple enough. Pop it in, one bolt, Bob's your uncle. Don't ask me why the file stuck to the drill, but it's new home. So there we go. Riding good. Nice and smooth. Nothing's binding. We put it through all our motions. See the front. Of course, it's a 3-link, so the front will travel to this side as it comes up, and that side as it goes down. We got full tap out there, full tap out. Nothing binding, nothing hitting at all. Nice and clear. Nice and flat driveline angle pinion, or pinion angle coming out. Nice and flat to meet up with the diff, same as the rear. Nice and flat. We did have to do this custom bent link. In the video, you'll see us bending a link. That one ended up turning out to be too long, so we didn't shoot it again, but we just took one of the TRAXXAS ones and did it with a shorter bend. This is the 80mm link. And just a Z-bend as close as you can get to the end will get you what you need, and it will clear everything beautifully. We need to run the cable for the front locker in a manner where it's going to be happy and not bound up. Make a little mount for it on the bottom of the front skid plate here tied in. Besides that, we really just need to put our drive shafts in, get our servos mounted up on this side over here for the locking of the diff. We have the part from the Vanquish kit that will mount here, which will allow us to put the servo that's going to run the dig. Servo mounts from underneath to run our dig unit. Put our drive shafts on, pop our servos in, ESC on this side. Either mount a small battery in the front, probably just going to run a 1300 pack right on the front like we like to. And yeah, servo. So otherwise, happy with it. Only thing that we're going to get into playing with is going to be the gearing. These have, I think it's a 30% reduction. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's about 30% reduction in here. So with this brush motor, she's going to be howling just to get this thing to move, basically. So, which is nice if you want that low gearing, but it's going to be too low. So we're going to need to speed up the motor and yeah, we're going to do it with all these spur gear and pinion, but I am also going to look into the Ultra gears because the Ultra truck comes on portals. So I think the Ultra might have a taller gear ratio, but it also could just be this transmission from them. So we'll look into that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. The important part is done. The axles are in, they're mounted, everything is riding real nice, butter. These TRAXXAS shocks feel amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome truck. Ride height's pretty decent. Might have to come down a little bit. We might limit these shocks just a little bit, just 5 mils down or so, get her sitting a little bit better. But besides that, yeah, she's gonna be awesome. Stay tuned. We're gonna get through the rest of this. Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Keith, and today, joking. Hey guys, we're just going to dive into the electronic package on this. This is a really high-end package. You can only get this out of high-end places. Basically, this is the builder's kit electronics bundle they give you. Basic stuff, real cheap, works good. Did the 2075X upgrade on that servo, which is nice. It used to be the 2075R, and they're prone to failure. Here you get your 3 servos, and they're even tagged on the side. That is your T-lock servo, your shift servo for 2-wheel drive, 2 high, first and second gear, and then you have the T-lock servo. You get your receiver, radio, TRAXXAS XL5 ESC, great ESC. Radio is a 4-channel, switch here, switch here, switch here, switch here, 4 channels. One thing about these, they come preset where they need to be. Don't try to turn that or force it. You'll break the gears inside, and these are like $80 a piece to replace. I ordered them and didn't actually, I just told them at the shop, order them, I need them. And when the bill showed up for 2 of them, I was like, good goddamn. Should have just bought the gears and fixed them, but yeah, don't break them, don't force them. From the TRAXXAS kit, we took this mount mounts them servos. For your T-locks. Nice and snug, fits flush to the bottom. You want to make sure you leave just a little bit of space underneath where you mount it so you can feed the cable through. We've already pre-marked it out. We're going to be mounting this unit right here on the side, this way, right here on the side of the chassis plate. We have to cut off the standoff and make a little trough to run the wiring. And then we brought our front shift cable up beside the motor, doing a happy little bend over here. Try not to put too much stress on that cable back to the mount. We've tested, it's working fine. The rear cable we're running up right here and right to the mount. So yeah, let's get at that part of it. Okay, so that pretty much brings us to the end of this build. We didn't show you all the boring parts while putting the wires in, all that stuff. You guys have done lots of this before, you know what's going on with that. Simple enough, we just took a little 1300 milliamp battery and we just strapped the battery to the position for the winch servo right next to the front steering servo. I'm undecided on servo or winches. Every truck that I have that has a winch, I don't use it because if I can't climb it, then I'm not going to winch over it. It doesn't make sense. So maybe it just doesn't suit my style, but I'm not going to put a winch on this truck, so the battery's good there. We use the TRAXXAS servo holders and the cable holders, whatever you want to call it, this piece right here. There was actually a spot on the board, or on this factory running board, that we were able to screw that into. We just had to make a couple of trims on the bottom plate so the wires could fit in without getting pinched. TRAXXAS ESC. We just using this, they work good. There's nothing wrong with them. We're staying brushed on it, so it's going to be fine for what we need. It's got drag brakes, so give her. We screwed this down, one screw right here, and we just put a pad of double-sided tape underneath it to hold it in there nice and sturdy. We're running up here the Reese 777. That's the waterproof, programmable 777 ounces of torque at 14 volts. We're running it directly off the JST connector that comes off to power the lights off of the light kits on the TRAXXAS vehicles. We actually just plugged that JST right into the JST that came off the servo, and she's getting 11.1 volts, which brings it to 666 ounces. Yeah, so really, one custom link, right there. I took the Dremel and I had to kind of arch out the back of the shock towers. So at full articulation, they didn't hit, they were hitting right there and kind of giving you a little bit of a bind. You want zero binding, of course. TRAXXAS shocks. TRAXXAS rims and tires are on for right now. We have a couple sets of Vanquish we're going to throw up in the air at it. Probably going to take the old wheels we taken off of the PN1. Thank you, Jesse. We've taken that off ProNoob 1. We're going to probably throw them on this bad boy with some decent tires. We're just not sure what to run for a tire. I like a scale tire, so you won't see any Hyraxes up on this pig. Not sure. We did trim the back of the running boards a little bit for the body. The body for this truck is actually another body that I had built a while ago for our PN1. This is PN1's original body before I went to the Rust. We actually did both of them at the same time. And then this one actually sat on the shelf for about a year and just kind of aged on its own. We took the old Wraith light bar, threw it up on the roof, a couple ProLine pods, or Axial pods, threw them on there, and they covered it all in the ProLine, what you want to call it there, light covers, buckets, whatever, light bucket cover, I don't know. So yeah, the TRX-4 mounts actually surprisingly fit the VS4-10 chassis. I just dropped the body on and it lined right up. We have the rear deck cut out, and we're just screwing a cover plate of a fuel cap down inside of the, yeah, we just used the fuel filler. We just screwed that down inside there with the fill screw, which is good to go. So, we're going to take this out on the trail right now with PN1 and both these old power wagons. Are going to put in some good work. We're going to get some good footage, add that to the backside of this video, and we'll catch you guys on the next build. Cheers.